Okay, Rand, how you doing?
Hello.
What's Stripe?
Oh, it's just a company shirt that I got. I never worked there. I got it as a customer.
Oh, okay. So let me adjust the camera here. Okay, let's do the first section of the form a couple of times. Okay, Rand, let me see you do it. Nice and slow, just like that.
Okay.
So, Kevin, Rand and I had a chat sometime in the last couple of days about what maybe it was last week, what we did last week, where we were working on the XINYI, XINYI and the Negon. And I was a little concerned, and I still am, that you guys just sit around or stand around while I do all these demos, right? But Rand told me that he doesn't mind that. He actually is enjoying that. Of course, he does a little pacing, but that's something that he likes to do. Um, Rand, is that still your viewpoint on this?
Yeah, like I'm fine with where we're going.
Okay, then let's go ahead with this. Um,
In case you wanted to know, I've learned more in this past couple of weeks than I think I've learned in years.
okay, good. All right, let's work to it.
So
Then that's good. Um, I don't know why. I just thought this, and you guys are going to have to excuse me for being sort of stupid. But I don't know why we didn't tie this to the yin and yang cycles that we went through and developed over the last couple of weeks, because that's really what you want to do. Each yin and yang cycle, for the most part, is an application. So let's go back. Let's do these first three. I think Kevin, did we do the yin and yang cycle on 3 moves or 4 or?
we've got yin and yang cycles up to 4, and we've got Xingyi and Negon up to, I think we're just starting the third.
Really? We did all the second one?
If you call the second one lazily tight coat and everything, we I think, well, maybe not.
I don't think we
No, I
finished.
think we got to Buddha's warrior.
Okay, so anyway, we're going to kind of restart this. Now we've got a lot of the material, so we'll be able to move pretty quickly through the first move and maybe half the second move, and then maybe we'll have to slow down. But Kevin, and I remember you're our goalkeeper, so um, it was 10 yin and yang cycles in the first move, 12 in the second. No,
The
eight.
Tai Chi Qigong 4, then opening move Kai Shur was 4, second move 12, third move 10, fourth move 6.
So it's 8, 12, and 10. I'm just talking about the first 3 moves, 8, 12, and 10. Okay, then let's go let's tie these in. That's the entire point. Let's tie these in with the yin and yang cycles. So at the beginning, I think you said we established 4 yin and yang cycles, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do it 3 times. 4, 3, and then 4 is sinking to the ground and coming back up. Okay, so let's tie those to the yin and yang cycles. And I don't know, maybe we did some of this, but I want to formally do it, right? So the pung is very yang, right? Yang, you're opening up into the world. And then it begins to shift into the yin and yin all the way down. All right. So what's going on? Well, first you open up and then you close. When you're opening up, it's yang. When you're closing, it's yin. And why are you doing that? This is Qigong, not Tai Chi, but they both work on exactly the same system. So the reason you're opening is the same reason you open anything in your body. You open your eyes, you open your ears, you open your mouth, you open your nose. You're preparing to do yin. You do yang in order to do yin. All right. So you open because you're going to grab a big bunch of chi. All right. And then you're going to sink it into the danchen. Now, some people, when they sink it, you can play with all these things. You should play and explore with all these ideas I'm going to give you. Most people, when they grab Qi and then bring it into the Dantian, what they actually do is they grab Qi and they bring it into the third eye and then sink it through the body into the Dantian. So the entrance is here, but the storage is here. So you can think about that. You can try other gateways. The crown chakra, the third eye, the throat. I mean, it's a strange idea, but the throat. The heart is a big one, directly into the Dantian, right? Or even the second chakra, the sexual chakra, and especially the root chakra. So a lot of Qigong, like for instance, here's one we do all the time. And I'm going to bring the energy in my crown chakra for the first exercise and my root chakra for the second exercise. But in both cases, the crown chakra and the root chakra are just the entrances. Where you bring it to is the Dantian, right? So I reach up and grab Yang Qi and breathe it into my crown chakra. And then what most people do is crown chakra, third eye, and then throat, and maybe even heart. All right, so all the upper chakras. And then sink it into the Dantian. And then you're going to grab Yin Qi from earth, up through the perineum, up to the Mingmen in the back, and then roll it forward into the Dantian, right? It's the same thing. You always need to be aware of these things as you do this, because where your mind goes, that's where your chi is going to go. All right, so those first three are just very simply that. Open yang, close yin. Open yang, close yin. Open yang, close yin. And then sink and rise back up. Now the sinking, the sinking is really yang, and then the rise back up is yin. It's a little hard to see this because when you sink like that, usually it's associated with closing. So you think, well, closing, that's yin. But watch my chest. Chest, lower back. It looks a little peculiar. It's almost kind of the opposite of what you normally would expect. But that's because your one is looking at the outer physical body. But that's not what you look at. What you look at is the inner energy body. This makes sense, Ran?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the first four. Yang, yin, yang, yin, yang, yin. We counted 4 on that on the first one, didn't we? Yeah. Right? So yang, yin, yang, yin, yang, yin, yang, yin. Boom. Right? So 4 and 4. Is that clear for everybody?
Is it too much to start talking about breathing at this point, or should we just leave that for the next go around?
Master, no, it's okay. We can talk about it. Master Fung, if somebody like so you're asking. Somebody always asks about breathing in workshops and stuff, and Fung always gave the same answer: just breathe naturally. And of course, he's right, but it is more complex than that. Basically, when you're doing yin, you breathe in, and when you're doing yang, you breathe out. So if I'm going to punch someone or punch, I'm going to close up first and then open. When you close up, you breathe in. And when you open, you breathe out. That's basically it. So it is, in fact, very natural. When you close your body, you naturally just sort of breathe in. And then when you're going like so, you naturally sort of breathe out. So Fung is absolutely right. And what Fung was, the reason he said that is he didn't want to get into a big discussion because it's really a pretty complex topic. And the truth is, it all boils down to just acting naturally, right? So basically, breathe in when you're winding up. Breathe out when you're hitting. Breathe in on yin, breathe out on yang. However, sometimes the yin and yang comes so quickly that to breathe in that pattern would almost cause you to hyperventilate. So the answer is really what Fung was saying. Don't make it mechanical. Make it organic. Breathe naturally. If I'm doing boom 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 boom, I'm not going to do that. All right. So you just breathe naturally the way you normally would. Right? Okay. Many people would take the first cycle in this and make this yin and that yang. Right? We must have broken it down from there into, yang, yang, yin, yang. Right? Yin, yang, yin, yang. Is that what we did, Kevin?
Yeah, to come up with 4, I think we had to sort of smooth things out a bit.
I think what I was doing was focusing on the potential applications. So this, as I said before, this move is about coming up underneath someone's coming like this. They've got their arm, they're choking you, right? And what you do is come up underneath their arms and pull them in. Watch. Boom, and that might actually be the move. So I guess we identified that as one yin and yang cycle, and then sink again and push out. That's another one. Normally they sort of go together, but you can break it down that way. So we must have done that. So there's move number 1. Okay, move number 2. Yin, yang. Yin, yang. yin, yang, 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 yin, yang. Oh, all right. So I think we counted 12 in that cycle, right? Let's see if we still have 12. 1. I think we just counted this as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that is right. Well, I'm just laughing because in a certain sense, any count is a little bit arbitrary, but anyway, 12 is good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this first one, you can think of as a pop into somebody's chest or maybe their arm, right? You come up now. You might actually be coming up underneath their arms, and again they may be reaching out. You come up underneath, draw them in, and then pop. Right? This one, this next one, I almost think we should break it into 2, but let's just stay with 1. Right? So count that as winding up. Now, the truth is, you wouldn't wind up like that unless you had a reason to do it. Right? You'd actually just wind up like that and go straight ahead. So to wind up that large is really a function. So yin yang, yin yang. But we didn't do that. We just counted that as 1, right? So this is one big wind up. But you can think of that windup also as partly defensive. So somebody might be coming in and kind of leaning on you. This is more of a wrestling move or more of a more or less friendly push hands thing. Someone's coming in and leaning on you. So what do? You just, if they're leaning on you, then go back. Right? That's what they want you to do. Master Fun always used to say, just help them do what they want to do. If they want to come in and push you this way, then let them. Right? Now, you notice I didn't move my feet. You could actually step back too, but what you're doing is you're giving way in one part of the body while still maintaining your position, essentially. Now, you don't want to do this. That's pointless. If you have to do this, then just step back. Right? But if you can still maintain, just move your upper body and still maintain your horse stance, then you can sink down in and push back. So this is giving and then giving back again. This might also be a chin up. full arm chin off. I've got his hand or his wrist, and the other hand this way. All these arm chin-offs work in the same way. It's the old dish rag thing again, where you've got his hand here, and you're right above his elbow, almost on his elbow, but actually a little bit above the elbow. And this hand is going like this, driven by this. And the other hand at the same time is going the opposite direction. So what you end up with, this is the guy's arm, right? You end up doing this. Right? Now you're not necessarily grabbing his arm. You're just using the heel of your hand. Twist it in. It'll still put that pattern of energy into his arm. Make sense, Rand?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now, 3 here is essentially the same thing as 2. You're just getting into it from a slightly different way. Coming down. It could just be on. Could just be pressing down. Suppose someone comes in and they put their hand on your hip and they're shoving you here, right? You just come down on their arm, probably more with this hand than otherwise, and on. You just press down maybe into their elbow, not the crook, but the outside of the elbow, right? And collapse the elbow. Does that make sense, Kevin? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is a much more sophisticated move than, in fact, the next couple of moves are much more sophisticated than we've done so far. Yeah, Rand's got it, right? This is new. This is turning on your axis. I think we did this last time, but turning on your axis, this is pump. Now you can think of that as locking the arm and moving, then you can move the person wherever you want to, because they will realize if they don't go, their arm's gonna break. So you can, if this is a guy's arm, all right, he comes swinging in, you grab it and pull it down, and you come up behind his elbow. Now you've got control of him. Because you could snap his arm pretty easily. So you're at least closer to being able to control him or move him than otherwise. If it's a life and death situation, then snap. As I think I told you, when you grab the arm, pull it across your body and you twist it. So that the elbow twists up, so that when this hand comes up, it hits the elbow, not just randomly, but that place on the elbow where now you got him, and you're gonna be walking him around like that, right? So the footwork also marks this move, and then forward, chin up. watch these guys. All right, so that's a China too.
Yeah, Rand, I don't know if you've ever had that done to you, but it hurts like crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Ran, I'm happy to do it to you anytime. Just fly over here and we'll do it. Right?
Yeah, I'll catch the next flight.
So you catch someone's hand or wrist, you come behind right above the elbow, one hand twists one way, one hand twists the other way. And when you have it done to you, it doesn't look like much, but when you have it done to you, it's like getting your arm caught in a vice. And if someone were really mad at you about something, boom, it's very effective. Okay, now, so that's an application. Now, and I think this is where we ended last time. Now you surround his leg and you push, right? And so that's just to throw him out of here. Now, one way to think of it is you break his arm and then you throw him out of there. Sometimes what happens, watch the blue here. I'm gonna exaggerate a fault. All right? This is no good. You have to sink in both claws. Now you're sinking radically in this one and less radically in this one because your weight's over here. But you still have to sink both claws. So, right? Open. That one. Okay, I think that's where we stopped last time. So, boom, we've got this guy here. Now, the next one is we're going to do a couple of things in the opposite direction. So, the first thing that you have to think is everything now is in this direction here, and the next attack's going to come from almost the opposite side. So you have to see what's going to happen, right? So if you're going to see what's going to happen, you're going to have to turn your head. This is one of the few places I can think of in almost any of the forms where you turn your head independently, in a sense, of the rest of your body, right? But everything is this way, and now you need to look in almost the opposite direction. So you turn your head, and what's happening is a punch is coming in. Someone's doing a flying Superman punch at you, right? Well, there's different ways to handle that. One way to handle it is just to back up and get out of there. But maybe you can't back up and get out of there. Another way to handle it is to move toward it. And the reason you move toward it is if someone's punching, the punch, the power in the punch is mainly in the last 6 inches. So if you can get in there, that might not be true with Mike Tyson, but for most people it's true. If you can get in closer to him, you can avoid a lot of the power, right? So, right, here comes the punch. Oh, come in. This also gives you the real purpose for doing this. His energy is coming in this direction. You can use that if you've got the right technique. So his energy is all coming in this direction. What you want to do is get in closer to the origin of that flow so that you can blend with that flow and then redirect it. Right? So he's starting to move. Oh, I'm going to move toward him. And now I'm going to grab him and help using his own flow, move him out of the way. That makes And really, in a sense, that's all of Tai Chi push hands, is putting yourself in a position where you can you can intercept a flow, blend with it, and redirect it. All right. And then maybe add a little icing on the cake as he goes by. Now, because we do a fairly simplified form, we don't actually step back when we do that, but you can step back. So Master Yamaguchi, for instance, steps back there. Now, there's certain things about that that are potentially good, but what's wrong with it? What's wrong with stepping back?
You lose your stability in a sense.
You lose your stability, but there's something else. I mean, that's equally important, but there's another thing. What else are you losing?
The root.
Yes, and watch this leg. You're driving with this leg. You're losing a lot of your power. If this comes up, well, now it's not there to power you, right? This is what powers it. This. Where if you know, you can lose a lot of your power. So you can lose some stability, you can lose some power. However, it does look cool, particularly if you've got his beautiful clothes, right? So we're going to stick with just now. There's a little trick in here for this move and for the next part of this, and that has to do with what directions you're moving. Most folks look at this part of the move, like what Ran is doing, and they would describe that as shoe circles. The shoe circle, it's a side-to-side circle. I'm at an angle, so it looks a little funny, but it's not a Lee circle, right? It's a shoe circle. It's like this. Right? It's a version of that. That's true. But, Ran, listen to this. But, and I'm serious about this, it's a tiny little thing, but it makes a huge difference in this claw. Watch, and I'm going to call it out when I get there. Right here, you need to do a ping circle. Shu, ping, shu. Is that clear? All right. Most 99.9% of everyone misses that. And it's difficult to do. All right. Let me show you the #1 difficulty people have. Watch this knee. This is what happens with most people. What you have to do is open the knee. You come down, and when you get to the ping part, open the knee. That causes the ping to happen very naturally. Now, I bring this up because although it's important in that move, it's absolutely critical in the next move for the function. The next move, somebody's trying to kick your knee. Watch. oh, they're trying to kick my knee. Now, what you need to do is block their kick. So, when you block their kick, you sink in the right quad, move your weight to the left quad, and open your knee in a ping circle. Sink in the right quad, move to the left quad, open the knee in a ping circle. And that causes you, watch what I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit, but not much, right? You sink, and then you go out and around your knee. All right? Sink and around your knee. Now, it doesn't really look like that, and it doesn't even necessarily feel like that, but that's what you're doing. You're going around the knee to block this guy's kick. If you're going to do that, you must open this knee. That is, what you're doing is sinking in a horse stance. Right? 1, 2. Right? Does this make sense? This is not easy to do. Most people don't do it. If you watch most people, including often Masters Zhang and Feng, it's like they know it, but you don't see it physically. You don't see very much. They're going over it very, very lightly. But if you want to practice this, you can, right? And that is what you're doing. Now comes the next move. What are you doing? That's the move. It's a chin-up. What you're doing let's say I'm standing here, right? And somebody puts their left hand on my chest or shoulder. So their left hand, hand, is coming across like this, or even here, right? Boom. What you're doing first is trapping their hand on your body. That doesn't mean you have to like nail it on. It's just sort of like glue trap. And then this hand comes up underneath the elbow. Watch. You can break their elbow just with your arm and your chest. It's leverage, not just strength. How much strength does it take to break someone's elbow? Not that much. They can be a big muscle man and you can still break their elbow. Is that clear? Now, when you watch most people, including Master Zhang, who taught me this, and you'll just see this. For many folks in, say, in Chen style, Chen Village Chen style, right? They might do this. So now it's not what I just told you, it's an uppercut up under the chin. Boom. Both of them are legitimate. Right? So it just depends on what you want to do. when you watch Chen Xiang do this, you'll often see him do the uppercut. But since we're doing a simpler version of this, we don't do the uppercut. Instead, we do this, right? Okay, we're over time, guys, so let's pick this up there tomorrow. We'll finish up this move, and we'll do the third move tomorrow. And then we can evaluate whether we like what we're doing going ahead. Kevin, did this work for you? Yeah? Rand, what do you think? Okay, let's go ahead. We'll meet tomorrow. Ciao.